So I would want to have a conversation with my kids about the benefits of college, because like if I didn't go to Hampton,
Where would I be?
I might be a different person, honestly. Like I can't even
Same.
imagine, because there's so much of me that was built from my experience at Hampton.
100%.
So I would definitely,
and my friends, like,
right, and the kids are gonna know, like, oh yeah, this my aunties all met at Hampton or whatever.
I'm expecting several Hampton onesies. If anybody's wondering, like, if you just want to send a little something in the mail, I would expect that. Anyway.
What's up, y'all?
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Adrian.
And this is the Two Mics,
Two Glasses podcast,
where two best friends discuss business ownership and life.
It's a new year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What's
Happy
going
New Year.
on?
2025.
I know. Are you excited? Do you love New Year's? How you feeling?
New Year is always like a really good opportunity to, this doesn't sound real generic, but have a better year than you did the year before. I feel like it's like a fresh start.
Yeah.
I like New Year's, because when I think about what the year has for it.
you.
Yeah, like if you had a bad year the year prior, it's like, okay, this is like a new year, like whatever happened then was not in this year.
Reset.
Yeah, it's a
reset.
reset. Good word.
Yeah. I have a bittersweet. I'm excited for the new year. I'm excited for what this year brings, because like a lot of great things are going to happen this year. Mm-hmm. But I'm also like worried because, things will be changing.
Okay.
In the leadership of our country.
Oh.
So like, I don't know what that's going to bring. So it's a little like apprehension.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to like feel, like hope for the best, keep your friends close, keep your community close, and like, lean in to each other for support, so that this will be a fantastic year.
Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of stuff that you are looking forward to this year.
I know. Should we?
Yeah. What's one of the things?
Let the cat out the bag.
Yes. We should.
So your girl got knocked up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just kidding. No, we're expecting. We're so excited. Baby girl on the way in March. Ooh, ooh.
Her hair is going to be
You think
fly.
so?
Girl,
God
you were
willing.
the hair queen.
God willing. Well, her daddy is bald now, so.
But it's a girl.
No, first of all, DeAndre said that he had beautiful hair before he went bald.
I know. I actually have never seen his hair to know anything.
Oh, I've seen old pictures. He was fine.
Okay.
Well, he's still fine, but you know what I mean. I was like, dang, I probably would have had a crush on him in high school when I saw his pictures.
What was the hair?
He just had like a brush cut, but it looked soft.
He had waves. He was wearing a stocking cap.
I don't think he did the waves. No. Plus, he doesn't have a lot of pictures from back then, but the one that I saw, he had a six-pack, and I was like, boo, what happened to the six-pack? That's okay.
That's old.
Mine is gone.
What happened to our?
What happened to ours?
Yeah, you can blame it on a baby now.
I know. Eat with no remorse.
Got a food baby.
I had a food baby, then a real baby, so now.
Yes. But that's very, very exciting.
I know. I'm so excited. We're having a girl. I really wanted a girl.
Yeah.
Because we have two boys, so now I have an ally, my home skillet. It's going to be great.
It's great. I'm very excited. All these babies around me. All my friends are having babies. So it's new and different. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dia and I have already talked about trying to set our children up, in the future.
Oh, yeah, because she had a boy.
Because she's had a boy. At the very least, hopefully they'll be besties, It'll be like love and basketball, but not toxic.
So,
in the spirit of, not being able to drink, we are trying something new.
Yes, we
So
are.
what are we drinking?
So, as you can see, we have a wine bottle here. This is the Ariel 2023 Cabernet Sauvignon. But the difference is it's non-alcoholic.
Hey.
Yeah, so let's see what non-alcoholic.
Do I need to aerate it? Like if there's nothing in there to aerate?
I don't know. It has the smell. I don't know what to think about the smell. It
smells like grape juice a little bit, but with no sugar. Like cranberry. No, like.
It looks like wine, and it said that it won gold medals against wines that had alcohol.
Really?
Yeah. So let's see, because we definitely are, enthusiasts of Cabernet.
Yeah, specifically
tough
Cabernet.
Critics.
Let's see. It's making my tongue feel real dry.
Let me take another sip.
I feel like I need some food. Maybe pairing it with something.
I don't know what to think. So it's not terrible, but it's not, I don't think that would like get my craving. Like if I was craving some Cabernet.
As a person who has been craving Cabernet and all sorts of other alcoholic beverages.
Would that do the job?
I mean, it tastes like a decent cab.
Okay.
Not decent. It doesn't taste like a cab that I would, okay, so that's not good. I was going to say like a cab I wouldn't drink, but a lot of times when I get a cab that's bad, especially if I pay for it, I will drink it anyway. But it doesn't taste like one of those that I have to force drink. It's like not horrible.
Okay.
But I will say it's only 50 calories per 8 ounces.
Which is a lot. Like,
I know. Because normally it's like 250 per 4 ounces. But like, I feel like I can tell why it's so low calorie. Because it kind of tastes, I would say like watery. Not watery.
Yeah.
It's like but it's like you can, it's not watery. Yeah. But it tastes like.
I don't know. Yeah, the consistency of it is like, it is kind of watery. I think I would like it more if it was a little sweeter. But I'm sure that it would up the calories.
It would up the calories and then it would taste less. It would probably taste closer to a Syrah, or like something a tad sweeter than Cabernet. Like is Merlot sweeter? Sometimes. But
I don't know. It's Cabernet all day, every day.
Real talk, since I haven't had wine in such a long time, I would have another glass.
Okay.
I'm getting the tongue dryness. You know what I mean? Like how cab kind of dries your palate a little.
Yeah, maybe that's all you need.
And the more I sip it, the better it tastes, which is normal for wine.
True.
So
okay. So if you're pregnant or you're just going alcohol free,
it's not a bad choice.
It's not a bad choice. I would recommend, if you like Cabernets, to try it for yourself.
Definitely try it.
See. Yeah.
Because it's like, I would get another glass, really.
Yes. So in the spirit of the new year, what are we talking about today?
Excuse me. Please don't wake me because I am dreaming. Do you know that song?
I think I know it.
You never start the songs.
Huh?
You never start the
songs.
songs.
Well, this isn't a song I can start, but... Like, I think I've heard it before, but I can't remember, like, how the melody goes. Yeah.
Don't wake me, I'm dreaming.
And I do know that song.
Girl, don't.
I don't know. It kind of, sometimes it sounds like it's like a woman that's singing it.
I don't know about that. 'Cause I'm dreaming, so just let me sleep. Don't wake me up till my dream is complete. Said I'm dreaming. You know this?
I do know the song.
Okay.
I do know the song.
I don't think it sounds like a, but like that's my jam. I don't know. I like hear it in my head. It sounds so much better than I actually do in my head. But
shower singing.
we're talking about our dreams, right? Let's talk about what our future plans are for 2025. We're kicking off the year. So let's think about like our goals, like setting goals. What do we want to do? I don't know if you're like into resolutions per se.
I used to be. I used to do like a list. I had like a note even before I think a note was in existence.
A what now?
It was like a...
Oh, you mean like a note on your phone?
Yeah, it was like a note on my phone, but I feel like I was doing it for a long time, so I don't know if it was always in the form of a note, but I think I maybe had done it via email or something, and it was a like to-do plan. So it'd be like 2025, I want to make sure I do this. I start a business. I hit 6 figures. I
lose 50 pounds.
Lose 30 pounds. But like, it was like that. And I would go in and check it off. And I would review it each year. And then when I made the new list, I would
review.
some things got carried over to the next year.
You would be super organized with your New Year's resolutions.
I haven't done it in years, though.
Why'd you stop?
Ever since I became an entrepreneur, my life just feels different. And I have had like things that I've wanted to accomplish, but I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad, but things like sometimes don't feel as tangible or maybe it's not tangible, time bound. So before I was an entrepreneur, it was easier to have goals that could happen like that year. As an entrepreneur now, like, let's say, like, one of my goals is to be a millionaire. Like, that's not something I put on my 2025 to-do list.
Why? I mean, you can get inch closer and closer to it. I guess it's like a long-term goal.
Yeah. So maybe if I broke it down into
like I want to
smaller
get to
goals.
this, like make it into chunks, which actually I think is a more healthy way to set goals, just because it gives you endorphins. Like even with credit cards, like when we were trying to pay back our credit, we would definitely snowball it. So like start with the smallest payment and like get that, try to pay that small amount off and then roll it into the next one and then the next one. And like makes you feel like you're getting ahead even though you still owe hella money. But it's just like, putting our goals into chunks definitely makes it like seem more attainable, feel more attainable. It makes you feel better. And then when you hit that goal, you're like, excited to get to the next one. It's like, you can't eat an elephant in a day. Or that's not what they say. You can't eat an elephant. No,
you can't eat it like in full, I think.
You eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah, one bite at a time. Yeah, that was a good one. That's good. That's good.
I think it's a good way to look at it. Like, I want to be a millionaire. Maybe that's not time bound, but you can be like, okay, first step to being a millionaire is to make my first $100,000, which you have done. So that's like a check. And now you're like, okay, how do I scale to the next level, or maybe add on an entity to, another stream of business or something that can add on to what I've already done. And then maybe that'll help you take those steps to being your millionaire self.
That's a good recommendation. Thank you.
Yeah.
What are some of your goals for this year and maybe beyond?
One is not die becoming a mom. I'm a little scared about that. Like, I love sleep. And that's not like a thing that comes with being a mom. Like, sleep is gone. I'm like a little worried about that. But also I'm like, I have worries just about that. I try not to speak life into them. So I don't talk about them very much. But like, I don't want to create like a serial killer, or like, I'm just nervous like about the person that I have to raise and bring in this world. So I'm just trying to create a really great environment. Like, my goal for this year is to really pour into myself, like being healthy. Like, I got a trainer.
Nice.
Because I was running out of breath real easy, but not extra weight. But hopefully it'll help me to have an easier birth, but then maybe I can continue those habits and like create habits and like mindset that will allow me to really pour my best self into this child.
Yeah.
Actually, some advice that I heard a little while back at our friend's baby shower was that sometimes as a mom, you will completely lose yourself and like you might not recognize yourself, but you're just growing and learning, because you have this human here that you're pouring into and they're growing and learning, and like you kind of just have to give yourself grace on that journey. And while her delivery was like, it was hard to see past certain things because she was crying a lot.
Oh no. Who's this?
It was, I don't know. She was like blonde with the short hair.
This was where?
At the baby shower.
Oh, you're talking about okay. Blonde with short hair. Okay.
I don't know I think she might have been the father's friend.
Okay.
But when she said that, like, at first I was like, get to, what point are you trying to make, lady? But then she started like saying real stuff, and I was like, wow, like,
You taking the information like it was,
well,
I mean, because it is.
She's a mom, and
right.
I don't know if she's a single mom or what her family life is, but you know, like bringing another life into this world that you have to completely sustain can seem overwhelming, especially when, you know, I've seen kids that didn't always have everything they needed, and it's scary to be like, you know, what if I traumatize my child and I don't even know it because I have my own trauma that I haven't dealt with? You know what I mean? Like, we are somewhat traumatized from things that happened to us, like, and our parents just didn't know that, you know, no, you don't know what you don't know. So I'm just like overthinking all that. Sorry, I'm like super rambling, but like those are the things that I think about as goals of 2025 is like to just try to become my best self.
Okay.
And pour into the things that I can, but then also like learn to give myself grace. Like before we recorded, I decided to just stop working at a certain point. You know, I took a couple meetings, and then I was like, you know what? I haven't eaten today. I'm going to eat on my balcony and just like enjoy that, just a little sunshine and take time and like just relax and listen to something that's not serious. And you know, I don't always give myself that type of grace. So, you know, doing stuff like that, like, those are kind of the goals. And then, like, from a financial business perspective, as an entrepreneur, as someone who was a contractor also, I don't have maternity leave. I don't have that guaranteed money. Like, if I take 3 months off, like, I ain't gonna get paid for 3 months. Yeah. So, I don't think I have 3 months to take off, but I am blessed that I do work from here, and I can try to figure out how to, you know,
flexibility,
make it work.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of twofold. Like, it's good, it's bad. Like, it's like, oh my God, I don't have maternity leave. I don't have someone who could be my backup or whatever, like as an entrepreneur. But then at the same token, like, you have a lot more flexibility than you would have been able to have. Like, one can work from anywhere. So maybe your baby is right next to you, or taking a nap, or maybe you're doing it in the middle of the night, like, you know?
Lord, please no.
No, but maybe.
But I understand, yes.
Yeah, so one of the things I heard is, well, maybe you're sleeping some of the day, you know, like.
Yeah, I can decide, like, what to do, what works for me. I feel like we talked to somebody about that, too, a while ago. Oh, I don't remember who it was. But I feel like I interviewed a mom who was like, I just work when I can. And I try not to be hard on myself about that. So, yeah, like, you know, figuring it out and still, you know, my goal is just not to become destitute in this. Yeah. And to just, well, you know, I have my husband, so that's very blessed that I have a 2-income household. But yeah, like, yeah, those are kind of the things I'm thinking about right now. And then, of course, like, you know, hopefully I can lose this baby weight. But, you know, people tell you not to think about that. But, like, I don't think, you know.
Well, they say breastfeeding helps.
Yeah, that's the goal. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, and another question. So you were talking about how there's things that our parents, you know, they didn't even know they were doing or not doing that can negatively impact us later. Are you considering therapy at all for anything that, you know, you may not know that can make you even better mom? We've
kind of talked about couples therapy to like be better people to each other. I did do individual therapy not too long ago, but it kind of fell off and I never went back. So I will think about that actually, since I have insurance, which could cover, and if we're going to do couples, maybe individual will be helpful too. Yeah. But it's a good idea. Like, I don't think I have like major childhood trauma, I'm not going to lie, but I've definitely discovered things through therapy that stem from how we used to live, right? Like something that I like vehemently remember was being so unbelievably busy in high school, not realizing that was like a lot. So we were running our parents ragged for sure, but like all three of us had activities like every day after school. and then after school. So like I was in sports, I was in band, I was a cheerleader, and I was softball. So
who was like leading that? Were your parents very encouraging of that, or you guys were just choosing to?
I think at first they were putting us in stuff to keep us out of trouble. So like, they put us in stuff based on the interest that we showed, but they also pushed us to try things. So like, I don't know if I chose softball myself, but I always loved baseball watching baseball with my dad. So he put me in softball, and I ended up really liking it. And I did that through college. First year, I wasn't that good, but I did do 1 year at Hampton. And so that was something that kept me super busy. Cheerleading, I feel like that came from, I did gymnastics and we did ballet and we did all that stuff. And then, cheerleading was something when they put me, my sister in, my brother did football, but my brother didn't stay in football. He actually went to basketball. So they were just like, I feel like they were just putting us in things to make friends, to stay active, and we clung on to many things, right? So I said I did band, I did softball, and I did cheerleading through high school.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot. And so every season you're busy. And then in addition to that, we was in church every day. So
every day.
Just about every day. Like Monday was choir rehearsal, Tuesday was Bible study, Wednesday was dance rehearsal.
Yeah, so you're in a choir too. That's another group.
Right. Saturday was always like a sport in the morning or something to do with church. Yeah. Sunday was church and Sunday school. So it's like, you're up in the morning, you get the things that you need to get done. And then when I slowed down and wasn't as busy, I started feeling like a failure.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got up at 10 o'clock today. I suck at life. Yeah. Like, I would freak out. I haven't given myself that grace. So I think, like, hustle and bustle, we could edit some of that down because it seemed like a really long rant. But, like, it's the truth. Like, I look back, like, I think our parents were just trying to keep us busy. It's three of us. Like, if we're just at home, you won't get in some stuff.
Is that what you want to do for your kid, or do you want to do something different?
I kind of do want to do that for her because I feel like it was beneficial. Because then I got to college, it was easy. It wasn't easy, but I could handle it because I've already handled juggling things. Like, how do you get your homework done when you have to do softball and then go to dance rehearsal? You know what I mean? Like, I do softball during, like, after school, 3 to 5:30 or 6. And then I have dance rehearsal at 7. So I had to get my homework done basically before I left school. And I had study hall. Like, I would put a study hall into my schedule so I can get all my homework done before I was done with school. And, like, it was just a thing I had to figure out how to do. I don't know if my siblings had the exact same experience because they were really busy too, but they weren't as, like, school inclined as I was. But, like, they just figured it out. And my mom would, she poured a lot into us. Like, she really, I don't remember her even, I'm sure she had her own things that she does, but, like, as an empty nester, I'm seeing so much more of her interests because we weren't there to run her all over the place. So I kind of do want to be that kind of mom that, like, has my kids and stuff because I don't want them to get in trouble and I don't want them to be idle. Yeah. I feel like idle minds kind of get caught up in stuff. Yeah.
I feel like, so I think one of the things that I would like to do in preparation for one day when I'm a mom, God willing, I do think about how my parents raised me and what I would want to do from that and what I wouldn't want to do from that. And some of it I have talked to a therapist about, but like some of the things that I would want to do different for my family is, so I was raised, as you know, I was raised as an only child, and I have an older half brother and sister who live in a different state. And in our household, so it was me, my dad, and my mom, and I barely remember us ever like eating at a dinner table together. Like we were totally a TV tray type of family. And that's something that I want to be a little bit different because I remember the quality of food was good because it was Indian food. It was Chinese food.
Yeah, you guys were eating out. I feel like we would covet that because when we ate out, it was like a thing. Unless it was like pizza, like delivery. We would sometimes do pizza or Chinese, but like for the most part, Like, if we went to Red Lobster or something, it was like, oh my God, we get to go. We got to eat out.
Yeah, I guess, well, my parents were like, they were really busy. They were like the corporate parents. And so they would, and it was a small family, so they would order 2 meals and we split. The 3 of us split the 2.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, yes, I guess if you're eating out every day, it can be expensive, but I think they were getting home later and, you know.
And you had to make it work for them, right? Like,
yeah. So there's like a lot of different things from how I was raised. Like, I'm very thankful for how I was raised because I think I turned out, you know, pretty good.
I think so.
Yeah, but I want to have like more of a family dynamic where we are like eating at the table. And I want to have a more connected experience with me and my partner too, because I just feel like it was kind of like moving ships in our household. Like whenever you got home, that's when you like got something to eat, and like there wasn't like conversation wasn't really. There weren't really like areas where it was a facilitated conversation or where it just was
like
open.
An intentional time to sit down and talk to each other.
Yeah. So that I definitely would want to do that different. What was the other thing I was thinking about that I would want to do different?
As a mom?
Yeah. Well, so this is a good one. This next thing I'm going to say actually kind of relates to like setting goals and following your dreams and stuff. So another thing that I would want to do different with my kids is I was taught, so even though my family was very entrepreneurial and they like all had side hustles and sometimes they were doing their business full time, I was taught like you need a corporate job. Like if you want any type of security, retirement, like you need a corporate job. If you want money, you need a corporate job and stuff. So I don't think like the entrepreneur thing was like talked about and we saw it in our family, but I don't think there was really discussions about how you can become successful through entrepreneurship. Yeah. And if you don't want to follow like a traditional path, college or after college or whatever, like that's okay too.
Yeah, I could agree. That's something that was not discussed. It was like almost like college wasn't an option, which
it wasn't an option?
No.
Oh, like
there was
you had
no
to go.
other
you
alternative.
Had to go. Right, right.
Well, the alternative was you gonna get a job and you gonna pay some of these bills if you don't go to college. Was kind of like the conversation.
Whose bills?
My parents' bills. Like, where would I live? Oh. They were like, if you don't go to college, you're gonna start paying bills. Okay. Because you're not gonna just be here not doing anything. You're gonna get a job and you'll be paying bills and you'll figure it out. But it really didn't seem like there was much of a option. Mm-hmm. The lucky thing was we all wanted to go to college, maybe because of a different world or something. I don't know. So we kind of got lucky in that regard. But like, how do you? Because I do think college is important. How do you like express that? It's okay to not go the college route, but like I would prefer you to go the college route.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay, so hopefully another goal this year is I'm hoping to get engaged this year. Oh. So my partner Jason, he went to college, but he went to college late, and he's an artist now. And I remember hearing from people, you know, or even my family, like, don't go major in art or don't go whatever. And so I think both of us have like interesting experiences of college and of career. He had like a big career change. He went to school for graphic design and then he worked in graphic design for a number of years and said, I don't think graphic design is for me. And so then he went to graduate school and majored in, you know, fine art. And that's how he came out to become an art professor and do his own paintings and stuff. Like,
that
really,
is so cool.
Yeah, so it's like a switch up of the future and your destiny and what are you really supposed to be doing. So I would want to have a conversation with my kids about the benefits of college, because like if I didn't go to Hampton,
where would I be?
I might be a different person, honestly. Like I can't even imagine, because there's so much of me that was built from my experience at 100%. Hampton. So I would definitely,
and my friends, like,
right, and the kids are gonna know, like, oh yeah, this my aunties all met at Hampton or whatever.
I'm expecting several Hampton onesies. If anybody's wondering, like, you know, if you just want to send a little something in the mail, I would expect that. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if you have a conversation that's like about your positive experiences related to college, so it's not like, oh, you have to go to college, but it's like I had such a great experience. But then Jason will have his own stories because he had a different experience, you know, so.
And you know, DeAndre didn't go to college. So he went to fire school at the University of Maryland and then became a paramedic.
Right, so trade school is like a topic.
Yeah, so I do think like, I think what it is like the difference in growing up was not to enforce something, but to really like lean into where you feel like they're going and try to support that. I also am nervous about my kid growing up in like this, everyone gets a trophy type of, but you know, that's future conversations, but you know, like, you know, I want them to know how to lose and win and like deal with emotions of maybe not getting what you want. Cause I feel like that was like a huge part of us growing up, you know, like maybe I didn't get into the college I wanted. Maybe I didn't get, you know, the job that I wanted. Like you have to know how to navigate that and not let it break you. Cause, you know, clearly last year, being an entrepreneur, I was super excited about in 2023. And in 2024, a lot of things broke down.
Yeah.
And, you know, financially, we were on the struggle bus. And, you know, that is not something I've had to really deal with prior to, which is a blessing because I've always been in corporate. So, you know, like thinking through how we were able to get through that, where I had a lot of like no's. I got kicked in the teeth a bunch of times, like trying
This
to
is all in 2024?
All in 2024. Heard a lot of no's. I tried my hand at sales, really sucked at that. Well, I should say I am learning and growing to be better at that instead of like looking at the negative side.
You got to start somewhere.
Like learning and growing from the losses that occurred in 2024. I really would love to instill the, you know, sometimes you do need to cry it out, but like give yourself a couple hours or a day or whatever, and then like get back on the horse and keep it pushing because you're gonna lose sometimes.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah. Understanding those things. Because when we're setting goals, I know I love vision boards and I know you don't love vision boards. So like I will make a vision board every year, even if I only hit half of what's on that board. And I'll be like, dang, I didn't get the 30 pounds off yet. But I'm going to put it on this vision board anyway. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to like, you know, maybe if we just drank this wine instead of actual wine, we would lose a ton of weight.
I'm sure you're enjoying this episode, but we wanted to quickly pop in to let you know about the cool swag we're wearing today. AMW Apparel is a line of inspirational and entrepreneurial clothing for those looking to stand out and make a statement to their following. We provide comfortable and high-quality t-shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops, and more. Enter code 2 mics 2 glasses, which is the number 2, MICS, the number 2 again, GLASSES, with no spaces, for 10% off your first order at shopwithamw.com. Link in the description. We appreciate your support.
Well, speaking of, I was just talking to a friend yesterday, and she had lost a lot of weight. And so I was like, like, you look great. How did you lose this weight? And she's like, I just took alcohol out the house. I was like, wow.
Why?
But yeah, so, you know, there are like, different healthy habits and stuff that you can
instill. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, I didn't win. I didn't get to these things last year, but this year I'm still going to put it on my vision board because this is what I want. I need to continuously remind myself, like, ultimately, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And so that's why I see value in vision board. But I remember you telling me, like, sometimes vision boards kind of made you feel down because you were like, dang, I didn't get what I wanted.
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually had a vision board. So when I moved last year, I discovered a vision board I had created in 2021, and it had different things on it. So it had like a deep soaking bathtub. It had my boo, you know, whoever the boo was going to be.
Question mark.
Yeah. Boo, question mark. There was like some pictures of Michael B. Jordan and like some other miscellaneous black men. What else was on it? Lose weight was on it. Hit 200K was on it. Debt Going Down was on it. So I had that board. That year came and went, and hardly any of the stuff happened then. And so I was like, oh, whatever. And so then in my apartment, I just put it somewhere. But then last year when I was moving, I discovered that vision board again, and I looked at it, and 80% I had accomplished. So like the deep soaking tub, I had that in my apartment.
You did?
Now
did you?
Yeah, you
In
weren't
Silver Spring?
No, downtown Silver Spring. I had a deep soaking tub in my room, in the bathroom in my room.
Oh.
Yeah, and when I compared the pictures, it was very similar to that. And then there were different things like about I had wrote confrontation on there. And you already know, like those were things that I really like have been working on a lot the last 2 years. So I think I do it now. And thinking of that person that I was in 2021, I think that definitely this is the best version of me yet. No. But I really did. I really was working on the things on the board and didn't even realize. It just took me,
longer,
3 years later to, achieve that.
But isn't that okay though?
I think it's okay, yeah. So maybe if it's, for me, it's just a vision board. It's not a 2025 vision board. It's just a vision board, Yeah. I think that would make me feel better.
So we can do vision boards this year? I love vision boarding. I always set like a word for the year. So I don't know what this year's word is, but, think about it. Maybe expansion. Expanding my family.
You definitely expanded. Not in a bad way. No, you're having a lot of positive expansions. Yes, because babies are beautiful blessings, and I'm so excited for your baby.
Yes, and I feel like reconnected with people last year. Hopefully, expanding our network, expanding. I need some mom friends. So, if you know anybody, well, I have a couple of mom friends, but all the expansion. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's the word. I'm proud of that one.
Expansion. Yeah, I think that's a really good word.
Do you have a word that you were thinking of?
Let me think about what I want to accomplish in 2025. So there's definitely going to be some life changes that are going to happen for me that are very different than the past. I think, building future with a partner is something a real future, because I feel like it was always talked about, but it wasn't really an action of stuff happening. But this time it's moving from, one apartment, moving in with my partner and stuff that's a real thing that is happening, and that's new. That's different, for me. So, I think there's going to be a lot of changes in my life in 2025, and I think it's going to be, for the best. Yeah. It's just, it's going to be a ride. I don't know what the word is going to be. But
what's it called when you're in a cocoon? Like a transformation, but it's
I don't know. And then you're emerging into a butterfly. From a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Yeah. I don't think it should
I don't
be
know what
cocoon.
the word is. Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't feel like it should be transformation, because you're not necessarily transforming. It's just you're preparing for a lot of change. So it could be some word that kind of resonates with positive change. Can't think of words.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's definitely different, and I don't know. I'm just thinking of so many different things that are going to be different next year, but different this year. But I don't know. So,
did you go into what you wanted to happen this year?
No, not really.
Okay, so go ahead.
I feel like we should both kind of say specific things. Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like I talked about stuff I have going on, but I don't know if you talked about what you have going on.
So, a while ago I shared with you something I had journaled about my goal for life, because 2024, if I had a word for it, it would be scrambled. And my life wasn't scrambled, but my brain felt scrambled because I wasn't sure really what I was working towards in entrepreneurship and in life. And I feel like I've always been somebody that's been like knew what I'm doing,
Very
what I'm doing it
goal-oriented.
for,
Yeah.
and stuff. But I think as life changed it didn't change that much, but as time went on, I realized that my previous goals, which one of the goals was to like have this big agency, marketing, branding, web design agency, and have my company, which is, it wasn't the first company I started, but AMW Marketing Design, just be like a really big thing. And I realized like, oh, I don't really want that anymore. Like, that's not the big goal anymore. So I was like, if that's not the goal, and that's what I thought I was working towards all this time, what is the goal? What is the goal? So when I was journaling, I just like, and this is a great thing for you guys to do if you're like, I don't really know what am I here for in life? Like, what do I really like want? So I started journaling like, what do I want my life to look like? Like, what do I want my future life to look like?
Yeah.
And I started out as I was writing, talking about the house that I wanted to be in. So it was going to be like a maybe 4 to 6 bedroom house that is multi-level, and there was a lot of lush greenery and glass and windows, which I probably got that from my apartment, like just how much I enjoyed looking out the window and stuff. And one of the biggest thing that I got out of that journal entry is peace. When I read it, my life is peaceful or whatever. Things are being taken care of. I'm doing what I enjoy, but I'm not like working myself to the bone. I have support from a partner. I have kids that are being like, are thriving and stuff. And so, yeah, it was really interesting to think about. So, yeah. So I say all that to say, 'cause I'm on a rant now. That so some of the future things that I want. So it's not going to be 2025, but just, well, maybe it is 2025.
You start laying foundation now. So
I had put in the journal entry by 2029. So it was going to be for 5 years from when
you
I
journaled.
had done that journal. So I want to be a speaker. I've always knew I wanted to speak on large stages in front of thousands of people. So I want to start working towards that. I want to talk about my faith and my beliefs a lot more than I have been. And I'm not really sure why I haven't yet, but I think it's time for me to step into like this Adrian 2.0 that's really going to be somebody that is, obviously is going to be faith-based, but really going to allow people to figure out, one, how they can strengthen their faith and their beliefs, and 2, how they can basically manifest the future life that they want by increasing their faith. And I want to do that on large stages ultimately, but I also want to do that working in small groups, and I want to really impact women and stuff. So I think, even though this is a 5-year goal, the things that I'm doing now this year is just the beginning of this bigger dream. So I will be really excited to just get any type of growth, in that area. And I think the other like kind of challenge for me is because I'm a full-time entrepreneur, it's not like I can just go to work and it's like, okay, work is work. And then when I'm home, I'm thinking about my vision. I'm thinking about my dreams, thinking about this faith plan. Because it's like I have to think about the other business too. So I want to be able to figure out how I can really create that space in my mind and in my time to, really be putting out content that's related to that.
Yeah. So I guess like if you're thinking of things practically, taking small bites, like what would that look like? What would those like small steps be for you?
Last year, I didn't really have like a social media plan for my personal page. I was just putting out, and then I really wasn't putting out that much until the podcast came out. But then it's still like
girl.
duplicate content.
The only content that you get is this podcast. Like I get proud of myself when I post a story. Like,
yeah,
it didn't steal it.
Yeah. So I think a small step would be me being really regular online, posting, different videos and stuff myself, talking. Because it's like I want to really start like a movement or a journey or a community. And so
This is probably a step.
This is definitely a step, and I feel like this content is very complementary to the additional content that I want to create. So I think just really seeing some growth in my following and seeing some interaction with this content, and obviously helping women, people in general, in any type of way, would be very
good
rewarding.
Steps.
Yeah.
I love it. So you were talking about how you were journaling and coming up with this plan, and it reminded me of last year I went to a conference where we like sat and visualized. Like it was so powerful to me because I don't think I've ever done that. And the speaker at the conference kind of played some really peaceful gospel music, that good worship music. And then she kind of kept asking questions like, okay, so you're waking up in the morning, like, what do you see? Where are you? And so similar to your journaling, I wish I was a great journaler. I think I journal like once a year. But I do look back and like really enjoy reading.
Yeah, do whatever works for you.
For you, right. So I was like visualizing, I woke up and I looked out my window and it was a large window and I saw water and it was like all this visualization of like what my bedroom looked like, what my sheets looked like, the vibe of my house, like, what I would do next, like who am I talking to and what was my morning routine and, what did I eat for breakfast and things like that. It was kind of like very specific visualization.
Yeah.
And I hadn't felt so inspired. It kind of brought me back to a goal that I may not have mentioned previously on here, but like this music school goal that's been like on my heart for such a long time since high school, of having a music school that could provide music lessons free of charge, instruments free of charge. And I think it kind of stemmed from like seeing the struggle that my parents went through, like to rent us instruments and to, like, I think they sacrificed a lot to allow us to continue music. And I remember...
Did all three of you play instruments?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I did me and Corrine both did flute, because imitation is the highest form of flattery. Also, flutes were the lightest thing to carry home. They made us take our instruments home every day. And my brother played the trumpet, which was an ode to my father, who played the trumpet in Morgan State Band.
Oh, nice.
Morgan State University marching band. He played the trumpet.
Wow.
And he has pictures and stuff. And so my sister went to Morgan State. She did not play the flute there, but she was in the choir. And my dad was also in the choir. And like my dad would travel internationally with the Morgan State University choir. And my sister kind of went the same route, and she had a scholarship to be in the choir. And then my brother went to Bowie, and he tried to be in the band there, but he really kind of found his legs when he joined their communications. So all that is like stemming from the work that they were able to get. And so I think like being in music and centering music is just like a huge part of childhood and development. And I think being able to read music makes people smarter.
Okay.
I do. Like, not that other things don't also make you smart, but I feel like being able to like you have to read music, you have to be right most of the time. And like if you're like 1% wrong and everybody's 1% wrong playing in like a band or something, it's going to sound like a train wreck, but it's such a small percentage of error. And you can't do that. So it really helps you to, try to perform at the highest level so that you're working with a group. So you have to work on yourself individually because you want to be the best. Like I was always fighting to be first chair, I think I was first chair. I wanted to be section leader.
Okay.
I wasn't always section leader because I was very talkative and I would get in trouble. But I worked very hard to be first chair. And I tried to always be first chair in all the bands I was in. So it does help you with your personal performance, but then it also helps you to realize, like, I cannot be the loudest person in the room. I have to, like, blend, and we need to work together to get the best sound possible. You know what I mean? So, like, if I'm, like, a flute and I'm just playing up and I'm trying to outshine everybody, the band's going to sound stupid. You have to let everybody shine when they need to for that band to sound good. And I think, like, those are the types of lessons that kids need to learn. And I would love to be able to offer that to children who may not be able to pay for that. So like, schools, I think arts programs are the first to go. They're cutting budgets I don't know if Project 2025 is going to be a real thing, but, you know, school choice might be coming to play. And then who knows where that will leave people who don't have enough.
Yeah.
And I would just love to have a school where we can teach music, but maybe even instill values and have counselors there that can help, you know, where help is needed, if necessary, not forceful, but, you know, just be there. Because I think growing up, I had a lot of adults that were there outside of my parents. It's like having collectivism and having a village is something that I think needs to be reinstated into our communities, especially Black community. I know there's a lot of individualism. You know, being down here and having a lot of friends and some of my family here is such a blessing. And I think it's slightly rare because I know a lot of our friends that don't have community and they don't have a ton, you know, to support them. And they feel like they have to do it all on your own. And like the girl said, the blonde one, she was like, you can't
Do it by yourself.
You can't do it by yourself.
Oh,
like
right.
The way life is set up, the way kids happen, like it's very, very, very difficult to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
So how do I create this community that I'm dreaming about? You know, like through this visualization, I think I have felt so excited about it.
Nice.
You know, I was taking calls with my team. I was at home working from home and able to support the kids. And I was like, how the heck do I make this a reality when I don't know how I'm going to get the money to do all this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I haven't really thought it through.
Well,
but step one.
Yeah, I mean, so it's 2025. What's something that you could do this year that would be towards that goal?
So last year I did create a connection and reach out to an old friend that's a music teacher.
Good.
And I'm trying to learn what do teachers need to take this, because I don't want them to be unpaid. I don't want anybody to be unpaid, because then you're not super motivated to do it.
Well, they shouldn't be unpaid. You just need funding.
I need
for
funding,
your nonprofit,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to learn what the teachers need, because I myself am not a music teacher. I know how to play the flute. I don't know how to teach the flute or the piano or whatever I play a few different instruments, and I don't think I know them well enough to teach. I don't know music theory. You know, I don't know how to teach that. So like, how do I attract teachers to want to give that extra time when if they're actual teachers and they're spending the first half of the day with crazy kids, do they want to spend the last half of their day with that? Like, how do I motivate them to want to work for us? And
somebody could be a teacher that isn't necessarily working in music, you know?
Potentially. I mean, you have people that give their time in so many different ways to kids after school and during school. Like, you know, I just have to find the people with the right things. But it's kind of like, I need to lay the foundation and figure out how to make this an attractive place to be. And so I think some of the steps I can take this year is learning more and kind of really developing the true vision on paper, and maybe creating budgets and really researching what it would take to put this together. Like, even if it's like scouting locations where it could happen, like who's to say that it doesn't start in the basement of a church or somewhere that is like attainable, not necessarily our own individual building. So I'm trying to I just need to write down on paper, write it down, make it plain. What scripture is that?
I mean, there's something else I think you could do this year.
What?
You could file your, 501c3 for the business, because once you're an official 501c3, you can start collecting donations. So maybe this is just a concept now, but if you're an official nonprofit or business, you could be starting that fund. And I don't know what year you want it to be full blown, but if you start now, you may be able to get a good chunk of funding, for when you really want it to be big.
Yeah, because in this vision, I saw myself going to the program and bringing, the kids with me. My kids are in this program and benefiting from it also. And it was a part of their day. And then we came home, and it was just a really cool vision. I don't think I've ever done it before. And I would really recommend, again, I'm in the ramble. It's a rambling type of day. I'm sorry. We're talking about dreams, and these are things that I don't think we really chat about that often. But, you know, like thinking about these things and visualizing specifically, like super, super specific. Like if you need to take the time and turn the lights off, like whatever will get you in the mindset to think of like the absolute best things that you want for your life. Like I would take, even if it's just 5-10 minutes or 30 seconds or whatever, just try to periodically visualize, like close your eyes and see it.
Yes.
Like see it like as if you're watching a movie.
Yes.
That is so specific and real.
Yeah.
That is what you want.
Yeah.
And then that'll help you to do it. Because I mean, I've had this vision months ago. I didn't take that many steps to get to it, but it's there.
Thoughts and journaling, and you know, you took a step by reaching out to our friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like taking it and like seeing it so clearly, it makes it seem so much more attainable than it just kind of being a thought in passing, which is what it was before.
Yeah. I love that. And you gave me an idea for the pod. I would love to record a guided meditation that we could put on there. I've done it in person before.
Yeah.
And so basically, you know, there's music and there's different things that you ask them to visualize, like how you were talking about visualize.
You might have a good voice for that.
Yeah, I've been told I do. That I have a very peaceful spirit.
You have a peaceful spirit.
Yeah, and so we'll have that.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, so we talked so much about things. Any like, you know, wrapping it up. Ultimately, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing out of what we talked about today is like taking a step, like making the vision plain, writing it down. I think writing or doing something that like, I think having a vision, sharing it with somebody else is a good step. So if you guys have, are thinking through a vision or whatever, I think that would be a really good step. And I think the next step is writing things down. And the more you think about it, maybe you just carry a little journal with you. Yeah. And anytime you have a thought related to that bigger vision, you just like write it down. Yeah, write it down. So I think those are, I don't know.
No, I think that's a great tips. That's a great tip, is like the first step to things coming to fruition is to continue reminding yourself and to create that accountability. I think this episode largely is like, we're putting it out there. The world is going to know what we said, and they might check back. You know, some people might be like, hey, what happened to that, to your speaking engagements, Adrian? Are you a preacher or a minister? Or like, what are you doing? Like, how people are going to be asking questions. Hopefully, you know, we have that engagement, you know, that's also on vision board, Lord. But, you know, this is accountability. This is a form of accountability for us. And I think like one of the first steps is to make it so that somebody or something in your life is holding you to what you said you want. Yeah. So that you can't just be like, oh. Yeah. Because imposter syndrome will get you where it would be like, maybe I don't deserve that.
Yeah, I feel like we should cheers to accountability.
For sure. Toasting to accountability.
New Year and accountability.
Hey.